Namaste, Angel. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Aquarius, this is our bi-weekly reading. Some of you may know that I'm a Gemini sun and be saying, why is she saying our? Well, I'm an Aquarius moon. I actually have about 4 or 5 placements in Aquarius. So I'm an Aquarius, a lot of stuff. So this is our bi-weekly reading for the period of tomorrow, Monday, October 21st, through November 3rd. Those of you who are new to the channel may be wondering why the cards are pre-laid and whether or not I'm capable of not doing it this way. And the answer is 100 times yes. I've been on YouTube over 3 years, or around 3 years, and I have over 1,900 videos on YouTube. I promise you there's plenty of me shuffling live, reading live, or recorded live from start to finish in front of everybody. You can see my hands, you can see everything you need to see. So I'm doing this in the interest of time because I do like to, give explanations as to what's happening, what's going on with the cards. I'm super intuitive and psychic, and I like to give you the full story. So in the interest of time, so that I can still keep it within 15-20 minutes, I'm doing it this way. Hope you don't mind. If you are not yet a subscriber, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell if you wish to receive notifications. And you're not guaranteed, unfortunately, on this channel to receive them even after doing all of that. But I do appreciate you making the effort. There is some sort of issue where a number of my subscribers don't get their notifications. And I'm back and forth with YouTube about it. So in the meantime, please still continue to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the videos so that other people can receive the messages, and you also help me out. And, it's all love. All right, Aquarius. This is pretty interesting, actually. We got some contrasting energy going on, but the card that most represents us over the next 2 weeks is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Seven of Pentacles in reverse is all about return on investment. I think I saw this card for another sign too. I don't remember what placement it was. Might have been Taurus. So some of you may have some Taurus in you. Maybe you're dealing with a Taurus. There's other pentacles or earth energy around here too. So maybe some of us are involved with earth signs, and maybe more specifically Taurus. Whether we are or not, this is about basically getting what you give. Have you been getting what you give? So in some cases, we need to start paying attention to that and seeing if we're receiving a return on our investment. And in other cases, it's going to be more of a karmic situation where the universe is going to be giving you, what you've given. So that can be good or bad. Now, at least in the area of work and finance, looks like it's good. In that placement, we have the Three of Cups upright, which is all about celebrations. Whether you work for yourself, you own your own company, or you work from home, or you work for, some sort of organization or other, outside company, doesn't matter. It looks like you've been making the effort, right? Really trying to show them that you know what you're doing, and, keeping your nose to the grindstone, as they say. Doing what you got to do, and it's paying off. If you don't feel it has yet, it will. And maybe over the next 2 weeks, you'll get some sort of recognition, reward, award, raise, promotion, partnership, right? Down to the job, as they say. I'm suggesting that some of us may feel like we haven't gotten it yet, because the Seven of Pentacles, to get back to that card in reverse, when it relates to work, may suggest that we're dissatisfied with our current work. So at least the employer or the customers, the clients, whatever applies to you, they don't seem to be dissatisfied, but we maybe not feeling fulfilled. Maybe we're not in a position, in a career that we feel aligns with our soul purpose. And so we're wanting to do something else. These are all possibilities. You got to be open-minded about things. Remember that if you, we have some free will and power, personal power. So to an extent, you can change your situation. You can change your career. You can change your job. And sometimes it's easier said than done, or feels easier said than done, because we have to consider things like our family and how we're going to provide for them. In the meantime, if we're doing something that maybe doesn't provide as much income or other supports, hours that work with our schedule or whatever it is. And so, sometimes we have to make some concessions, but you are still in control at the end of the day. Just think, what's the word I want to use? I guess consider the pros and cons and your feelings. Like, don't ignore how you're feeling, because the tide can change as to what you give. If you're not feeling fulfilled, you may, cease to perform at your best because you're just, right? You're over it. And so that's going to be reflected too. And so you don't deserve that, because obviously you do have a lot to give. So you're going to want to, consider all the pros and cons, and then maybe a second job, or if you work for outside the home, or for another company or something, maybe at home you want to start something like moonlighting on the side, something of your own that allows you to express yourself creatively, something like that, Aquarius. Similarly, it's crossing your card that represents love and relationships, which, honestly, this isn't the most exciting love and relationship card, the Eight of Pentacles upright. And that's why I said maybe there's a relationship with an earth sign, because we got the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. So it's a nice progression, at least. You may be forgetting that in your relationships, like, no one's perfect, right, Aquarius? And that includes you. I know you want to be perfect. I know we want to be perfect. We want to, like, save the world. That's an Aquarian's nature. You can. I'm not saying you can't save the world, because I believe that we can. But there are going to be challenges that even we must face, and things that we can't get around no matter how hard we try. Now, if you're single and you're looking for love, and maybe having difficulty meeting challenges in finding love, it could be because you're having like unrealistic goals or expectations, either set for yourself or this other person. Because again, nobody's perfect. So you may want to be a little bit more realistic, and maybe let go of expectations and allow life and love, to flow organically. Real love, it's deeper than what's the appearance. So like being able to fit or check off a box for something, it goes deeper than that. This other idea feels kind of superficial in how I'm picking up the energy. And, we don't want to be superficial. We're mistaken for superficial all the time, like air signs in general are, especially Aquarius and Gemini. But that's not really us. So we don't want to begin to portray that. You know what I mean? We don't want to slip into that. Since I'm on love, I'll stay there, and I'm going to pick up the next card, which is Major Arcana card 0, the Fool, representing energy that surrounds us. So it could, in part at least, be our energy, or, that of friends, family, co-workers, romantic interests, especially, sits right here above the placement for the love and romance. And I'm sure a bunch of us are guilty of this, because if this doesn't say Aquarius, with this card, the Fool in reverse translates to, if it doesn't say Aquarius to you, I have to question whether or not you're really an Aquarian or not. So, we air signs like their freedom. Again, especially Aquarius and Gemini. Aquarius is the zodiac sign of freedom and humanitarianism. So we got to be free. The problem with the Fool in reverse as it relates to love is that it can indicate that our need or desire for, independence and freedom is getting in the way of our relationships, and or creating an appearance. So here I go with the appearances again. What's real, what's fake, what's at the surface, what's really at the depth of a person or a situation. It can give an appearance that we don't have an interest in being committed, like we're too flighty, and we don't want that. If we actually, unless we do, like if you actually want a relationship, you actually want love, then we have to make sure that we're opening ourselves up, that maybe if we are seeking freedom, because we're going to crave it, we need freedom, at least to an extent. Although, it's potentially still some of the most loyal people that there are. In that case, I have to switch it around: Gemini first, and then Aquarius. But yeah, very in committed relationships, very loyal, but not making it seem that way. Now, if you're in a relationship, this is weird too. So I've been using 4-card placements. Somehow I had pulled an extra card for us, and I'm like, well, what do I do with this? It was the King of Cups upright. If you're in a relationship with a water sign, especially a Scorpio, and then maybe a Pisces, and then a Cancer, in that order, that's what I'm going to say. You definitely don't want to be coming off superficial or disinterested, and non-committal, because it's just not going to work out for you with them. Scorpios are so deep that they feel like no one else could be down there with them. Like, they've just reached the height of depth that no one else can get down there. So everyone else is sort of flighty to begin with. And then especially with an air sign, they kind of don't get it, our need for freedom and stuff, and they misinterpret it. So you're definitely going to want to be clear with your romantic partners. Yes, I, crave freedom. Or show them, yes, I crave freedom. Yes, I, crave independence, and I'm self-sufficient. But that doesn't mean I don't want you. That doesn't mean I don't need you. And then, like I said, we don't have to only tell them. We can show them also and make them feel like we're really in it. Another reason I'm going to say it may be a Scorpio first and foremost, and then the other signs, is because our overall energy here is Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor, also in reverse. The Emperor represents the planet Mars, which is the ruler of the signs of Scorpio and Aries. So some of us dealing with those energies. I want to come back to the 3 of Cups for a second, though, because I left out, I talked about work, but I didn't talk about finance. And what I said about work actually is impacted by what this card means as it relates to finance. I talked about you doing something that feels meaningful to you, that touches your soul and aligns with your soul's purpose. With the 3 of Cups upright as it relates to finance as opposed to just work, it can mean that you don't want to make money the most important thing in your life. Like, you don't want to be too worried about it, or have an attachment to it, like a negative cord of attachment to money, an unhealthy relationship with money, or an unhealthy obsession about earning it. It's going to be flowing fine, all right? With the 3 of Cups upright, in this, especially in this position, it's going to be flowing fine. It's important that you remember how abundance works and how the law of attraction works, especially, again, in consideration of this card that most represents us, this 7 of Pentacles in reverse. I'm getting back what I've been putting in. So as long as I continue to recycle this positive energy, I'm going to continue to recycle my abundance. It's always going to be there. The universe is infinite. It doesn't run out. So it can always and will always meet our financial needs, provided that we're working within those laws of cause and effect and karma and attraction. So that's what we want to focus on. Not once you start getting into just an overly obsessed focus on money, that's where you teeter into the devil realm and a more negative meaning for these pentacles. You're getting into that sort of Saturn and Capricorn energy as it refers to toxicity and even addiction. So we want to stay away from that. But it looks like some of us may be in danger of that because, again, in our position of love and romance, we have the 8 of Pentacles, which can mean that we're too obsessed with work for our relationships. We're not giving enough time to, this kind of energy, King of Cups, emotion, love and emotion, nurturing, generosity. We're not giving enough time with that because we're too focused on work and money. So If you're single, the Three of Cups is telling you to be more social, to get yourself out there and just, maybe take some time off from work or go and hang out after work or something. Make sure you squeeze in time for like enjoyment and whatever, especially if you want to meet somebody, if you have an interest, you're looking for love, then, it's not going to just fall out of the sky and hit you in the head. You need to find some balance in your life where you're making time for both. All right. Three of Cups in general also about reunions for me. So somebody, if you are single, somebody may be coming back into your life. Maybe you met them at work, or you know them from work, or through whatever it is you do for a living. You own a store and they walked into it or whatever. Somebody could be coming back, maybe again a direct water sign, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, in that order. But does not have to be a water sign at all. If they're not a water sign, then they are somebody of the attributes and traits of the King of Cups upright, which is one that is, again, generous, loving, nurturing, romantic, maybe as opposed to some of the other kings, like the King of Swords, for example, is maybe too busy being like this sort of stereotypical man's man to be romantic, not as healthily in touch with his emotions and feelings as the King of Cups, like not nearly. And getting back to the Emperor in reverse, he's basically saying the same things or similar things to the other cards, particularly as it relates to the work. Well, really, not only the work, your life in general. You need freedom. You're not like in the mood, at least right now, maybe over the next 2 weeks, to be in a structured environment. And your soul may be like calling out to you to say, please, can we look for a career, that better resonates with our purpose? Can you express yourself creatively? Can you always wanted to be a musician. Why are you a banker? Can we transition? Can you become a musician instead? I just feel like you're doing something that's really like orderly, and you just want to be sort of disorderly and rogue a little bit. And of course, like I said about some of the other cards, you can't always afford to do that as it relates to work, because we have priorities and families, and we need some structure and stuff like that. But at the same time, you got to find the balance there too. And you're not going to be able to change your nature as an Aquarian, that you crave freedom. So that's it applies to your work too. Can you be a responsible adult and do what you have to do at a job? Of course. But if you can do that at a job that allows you to do both, where you have some leeway, some latitude to be sort of work independently, or be sort of independent, or expressive in your own way, then that's the better job for you. Now, that job may be well on its way, or relationship that allows you to sort of really and genuinely be yourself, but still be in love, may be on its way, because right behind this Emperor in reverse is the Nine of Cups upright, and it's just making me pay attention to it. Nine of Cups upright is about our prayers being answered, our wishes being granted, our dreams coming true, and it actually is very much like Major Arcana card, the Star, which represents our energy as Aquarians, very directly. So, I think we may be getting what we want very soon, maybe over this next 2 weeks. And again, somebody may be coming back to our life, because not only is the Three of Cups for me about reunions, whether it's with friends, family members, or romantic interests, the Knight of Cups, which is also here behind the Nine of Cups and our wishes and dreams, definitely means for me that somebody that we know, somebody with whom we're familiar, that maybe we've been separated from in some way, is returning to our life. Doesn't mean we dated them before. I mean, we may have. It may be an actual ex, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a friend, somebody you lost touch with, somebody you used to work with, maybe combinations of those, and you just have been out of touch, but there is going to come an opportunity for you guys to be social and to be reunited in some way. And definitely room for love, because why the hell I pulled this card, I don't know. It was like I had laid all 4 placements, and then I pulled another one, and I'm like, what the hell? What do I do with this now? I'll just lay it here. But it means something. You know what I mean? And for some, it's I'm sure it's literal. There is a water sign returning to your life within the next 2 weeks, and you guys have an opportunity to have a real relationship, maybe where you tried before and it didn't work out because the air and water was clashing. He or she, didn't get your need for freedom, took it as superficiality. That's how they perceived it, even though, Aquarians are some of the deepest people that there are, because we have such a unique way of, first of all, air signs are all about thoughts and ideas and everything. And we come up with ideas that maybe no one else has. And we don't mind being the only one to champion them. We don't mind being that lone person on an island that's going to, stand on their principle and say, this is my idea and it makes sense. And the rest of you, it's the rest of you that are crazy. It's not me. You know what I mean? So if the water sign didn't get it, then they didn't get you. And they mistook you for their perception. Their limitations prevented them from being able to see what all you're made of, and how deep you really do go. So maybe now this is the second time around, but you're going to have to do some work too, especially with the Eight of Pentacles sitting here. It means both people need to put in the work, need to put in the effort, and you're going to have to show, especially, it's like speaking a different language from somebody. You guys speak different love languages. It's like speaking, one speaks English and one speaks Spanish. You can keep talking at each other all the time, and some things are going to come across whether you understand what the word is or not, but some is going to just go over you. And so how can we make up for that? If I'm trying to express something to you and you don't speak the same language, then maybe I can show you, I can demonstrate something, and then you're going to get it. So I think that that's what's coming up for Aquarians during this period. Further to all of that I just said, you have an overall energy for my Keepers of the Light Oracle of Sanat Kumara, light activation. So we're going through some ascension and spiritual growth at the same time. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. And from my fortune reading cards, unity. A time of divine understanding. I wish I had looked at that before, because that's exactly what I was trying to sort of explain and convey. I didn't come up with the words, but yes, divine understanding. Like now, I get you now. I didn't before. I get you now. So divine understanding, renewal, like maybe reunion, coming back together, peace and hope is what we're in right now. A time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. And love does have to work that way. It does have to pass both ways. And again, it's return on your investment. You radiate it, you're putting it out, and you attract it. You're getting it back. That's perfect for, it couldn't resonate more with our sort of energy for the next 2 weeks, Aquarius. Further to that, masculine. Anybody that resonates with the masculine archetype among us watching today, whether you're male, female, straight, gay, doesn't matter. These things are not gender or sexuality specific. It's archetype. Okay, if you feel more, we're androgynous at the soul level. So if you feel more heavily masculine, then this pile is for you. Feel more heavily feminine, that pile is for you. You resonate with all of it. That's fine with me too. Take it all. It's okay. Masculine. From the fortune reading cards, luck. You're right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities that are ahead. I think so too. Good things are coming, and we're going to be prepared, right? We're forewarned, right? It's another Fool. Isn't that funny? You have the Fool here. It's in reverse, but we have the Fool here. It's another Fool. Have the courage to embrace change, take risks, and be adventurous. So change may be, I got to let somebody else into my world, into my realm. I can't be that lone aquarium on a island if I want to have a relationship with somebody else. So for me, it's like when you've been single for a long time and all of a sudden you're moving in with somebody or letting them move in with you. There's things that you're going to have to change. You're going to have to be different. Or you get married and all of a sudden you got to share your space, or you get a roommate. You guys know what I'm saying. There's changes that have to be made. That's what we're going to have to do. In looks like any area of our life, there's a potential for it. So whether it's our work, But I definitely see it for our love interest, our romantic lives. We're going to have to make room for our partner, basically. From my Keepers of the Light Oracle to the masculine, Lord Shiva, transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Well, Lord Shiva, aka Shiva the Destroyer, basically comes in, knocks everything down because it wasn't working, and rebuilds it. So I think that's what's happening for us again too. These old structures that within we were working, invisible structures that we were confining ourselves to. He's just coming in, he's knocking that all down, and we're just going to rebuild it from scratch in a better way so that we can have better outcomes. And for the feminine, Master Jesus, forgiveness. Maybe forgiveness for yourself and the other person in these relationships that didn't work. You're on the path of light and forgiveness. Father healing is possible at this time. Very interesting. Where some, maybe we do also specifically have a situation with the father of our children or with our own father. Again, with the Emperor showing up here, albeit in reverse. Emperor can be about authority, a father figure, a married man, a man with children, a divorcee, a widower. That's all the things it tends to mean for me, like marriage material. So we may have a masculine energy in our life with whom we have to heal a relationship, we desire to heal a relationship. And Master Jesus shows up to say, now is the perfect time. I hope that you guys have enjoyed your reading and find it helpful. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. If both, absolutely give it a thumbs up, Like, share, subscribe. Again, you got to hit both buttons. I apologize, but I thank you in advance for doing that. If you'd like a private reading from me or any of the other services that I provide, energy healing, cool merchandise on my my Society 6 page or my Teespring page that I have up through partnerships with a bunch of young artists that I work with. I think that you'll really enjoy that stuff too. Mugs, t-shirts, not like Queen of Swords stuff, like designs that these artists have created. So it's pretty awesome. I'll have all the information about all of that in the description box. I'll try to remember to put it in. And any and all of you are always welcome to hit me up on Facebook. I have, fan pages, but I have friend pages too on Facebook, IG, regular pages that we can kick it. So feel free. All right. Thanks again. Namaste.